Shalom. All praise, honor, and glory goes to Yahweh, Shemi Yahweh Shai, Bashim Kakwadash, double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of the millstone, and salutations to the Akim pushing his words, sincerity and honesty, and hopeful that constantly enduring Shalom. Okay, I'm the brother Korah Allah from the GMS New York camp, and I'm coming at you with another lesson, and Lord willing is edifying. This article is from End Time Headlines. It's an actual app that brings you updates in what's in the news in the world. Okay. Today, this article just came out, February 2nd, 2026, and it's going into, as it reads right here, it says hundreds of anti agitators shut down city streets in Portland, confront federal agents. Okay, so Portland, okay, Oregon. According to the Fox News report, hundreds of protesters gathered in Portland to shut down several major streets during demonstration against U.S. immigrations and customs enforcement. The march, which significantly disrupted traffic in the downtown area, was organized by groups demanding the abolishing of agencies and end of the detentions of undocumented immigrants. The article details how the crowd moves through the city streets, with some protesters utilizing barricades and banners to block intersections. I'm not gonna read any more on the article, okay? But you see the picture right here. They have gas mask on, right? And they band together and they look ready for any conflicts. All right, which this is another psyop. Of course, there's agents that gather the people and you know entice the people to go out there and rally, as it says here, agitators. Right, when you look at the word agitators, what do you get? Troublemaker, a person who urges others to protest or rebel. Okay, it's insurrection, right? So this is just giving your government more fire, more wood for the fire. Okay, more fuel for the fire for them to come down, having that great wrath. Okay, which is all done by design. This is all done by design. Okay, auto ab KO, right? Which is to say, order out of chaos. Let me get some scriptures and low one space for edifying lesson. This is 2 Ezra 15:1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord. That's going into the prophets. Okay, now the prophets been out there on the highways and byways, mainly GMS and brothers that speak in like manner, that's pushing this truth 100%. Okay, the Lord put the spirit, starting with the apostles on down. The Lord put the spirit on those men to go out there on the highways and byways, as He put the spirit on all of us. Okay, to go out there on the highways and byways and prophesied the things that are going to come to pass, as we're seeing it come to pass now. Okay, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Right, going to scriptures. Let's jump down. Let's go to the 14th verse. It says, "Woe to them." It says, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands, right? And you're seeing the people rebel against the government, okay? But it's gonna be even worse. It's gonna be race wars, all right? Um, Race wars, class wars, all right? And you're gonna you see the martial law, right? You see all these things coming to pass, all right? It says, "For the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands." So all these things are being prophesied, okay? It has been prophesied. For there shall be sedition amongst men, and invading one another, right? There shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Right, and you've seen this come to pass. People are beginning to rebel because they are angry. Okay, now we just read the article. They want the basically the detention centers, which is what, a concentration camp. They want that abolished. They want ICE abolished. All right, it's not gonna happen. So what else? What's the next course? The people that's protesting, they're going to become more violent. All right, it says, "A man shall desire to go into a city and should not be able." Right, we're looking at lockdowns, looking at martial law. All right, we've seen this happen, and it's become more efficient through AI and technology. So, for because they're private, the cities shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and the men shall be afraid. Right, it's going to be real bad to where men are going to be afraid, you know. And this is really coming down. You brought this upon your own heads, you know. Speaking to Israel, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, because when the men of the Lord was out there on the highways and byways, prophesying these things coming to pass, and urging the people to come back to their true power, the true nationality, fear the Lord, and the Lord will deliver you. Right? You didn't take heed, so now you got to go through whatever the hell Esau or these so-called Americans have to go through. You can have to go through it also without the hedge, okay, without the protection of Yahweh Shimi Shah. All right, because guess what? The elect is gonna go through it too. Okay, the elect is gonna go through Jacob's trouble. All right, but the difference is that hedge is gonna be upon the elect. Psalms 64 verse 2: "Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity." Okay, I got our word insurrection again. A rebellion, a violent uprising against authority or government. All right, so it says, "Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity." Yeah, because there's gonna be a uprising against the men of the Lord. You know, here it is. You have the people uprising against the government and ICE. Okay, but ultimately, what's going to happen is the people, you know, whether it's the authorities, but it is going to be authorities, but the people are going to help them also, you know, to uprise against the men that fear the Lord. But it says here in Psalms 64 and 2, "Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity." Okay, and that's going into their martial law. That's going into when they crack down on the righteous of the Most High. Okay, men, women, and child, who wet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words. It It says, who wet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words. Okay? That tongue is a sword, man. Right? The media, the news, okay? What you read on the internet. This is how Esau shapes the people's minds to do what he needs them to do. Okay? That they may shoot in secret at the perfect, suddenly they shoot at him and fear not. All right? So they shoot at the perfect, man. Who the perfect? The elect. They shoot in secret at the perfect. All right. So the whole world's gonna be affected. Right here it is. They affect the whole state, the whole city, but they're really targeting a few men and a few believers, whether it's men, woman, or child, a few believers of the gospel. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune in of laying snares privily. They say, who shall see them? Okay, so just that evil matter. Okay, like I mentioned earlier, order out of chaos, right? So it started in Minnesota, but now we heard about it being in Texas. You heard of LA, of course. Now they're talking about uh Oregon. All right, so this thing is spreading. Okay, and a lot of it is their own agents riling up the people. All right, they encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privily. They say, who shall see them? They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search. Both the inward thoughts, yeah, that diligent search. All right, ultimately, Esau wants to bring in his uh his NWO, right? The beast system. Okay, they encourage themselves in the evil matter. They it says they search out iniquities, right? They accomplish a diligent search. Both the inward thoughts of every one of them and the heart is deep. Okay, so the inward thought is what? That their kingdom shall continue forever. They want to accomplish this by that new world order, and ultimately by taking that chip and implanting the people, whether it's in your head or in your arm or wherever part of your body. They implant it wherever it's needed. Okay, because they're gonna put that chip in you, and they might do it case by case basis. Okay, but either way, you're gonna take that chip. 2/3 of our people gonna take it, and the world's gonna take it. It says, but the Most High shall shoot them with an arrow. Suddenly shall they be wounded. Okay, so the Lord's gonna throw a monkey wrench in Esau's whole agenda. Okay, so it says, so they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. And this is exactly what you're watching. Okay, it's being brought out that Esau is the wicked. You know, that's why when Trump went to Venezuela, he said it was for drugs, but after their success, all he spoke about was oil. All right, so it's looking shady, but that's the MO, that's the agenda of the so-called white man. Psalms 55:21 says, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. Okay, so his words, like Trump is known for saying, "Make America great again." Okay, no one says that anymore. People are turning their red hats left and right. All right, because now they're seeing what that consists of. chaos on the streets, right? People dying, people being pulled out of their homes and mistreated. Okay, people being put in detention centers, which number concentration camps, right? Job losses, lies. Okay, Trump's approval ratings is lower than it has ever been. Okay, because now the people are seeing, hey, this war is in this man's heart, right? What he's done in Venezuela, what he's planning to do in Greenland, Mexico, Colombia, Canada, right? Every time he puts down tariffs on these different countries, that means that the people, the so-called American people, have to suffer. Okay, so it says, cast thy burden upon the Lord, and he shall sustain thee. He shall never suffer the righteous to be moved. Right? So through all these things coming to pass, whether it's financially, whether it's physical, right? Whatever mental, spiritual, right? The Lord's gonna protect the elect, men, woman, and child. Psalms 55:23, it says, but thou, O Lord, O Yahweh, shall bring them down into the pit of destruction. Bloody and deceitful men shall not live out half their days, but I will trust in thee. Yeah, so this man has a lot of blood on his hands, you know? Not to mention, this kingdom they call America was built on blood, you know? But Lord wants to edify and lesson. No one to say all praise, honor, and glory goes to Yahweh, Bashim, Yahweh Shah, Bashim, Kakadash, double honor to the apostles, bishops, and elders, Millstone, and citation I can push this word, decision, honesty, Shalom.